the wonderful fortune of being able to work with government funds and contracts and large budgets. As a matter of fact, my last job in the Air Force, I was a vice wing commander of a combat sustainment wing and a senior military officer. Now, what does that mean? Well, quite honestly, we have very old weapon systems in our Air Force. You might have heard of the B-52. It's been around for at least 50 years. You know what? There's not any assembly lines still working to make the pieces and parts to keep it going. So we in our combat sustainment wing had to either contract out or make the pieces and parts ourselves and plan ahead what was going to be needed. And then we have the current weapon systems that we do have assembly lines. We write contracts for, make sure those are sustained. But then we got to get on the drawing boards and just do the what ifs and let's draw this and what about doing that and how about this kind of weapon system. And so we worked with engineers that were in, dreaming and planning those kinds of things. And so it was a $4 billion budget that we had. And I had 4,000 people doing that amazing work. And I retired as a colonel. Now, a colonel in the Air Force for females, only 1% of females make it as a colonel. And actually only 5% of males make it as colonel. So I was very fortunate and blessed to be able to achieve that rank and to have those jobs and those opportunities. So I've been asked what makes me qualified to run for Congress. Well, first of all, the Constitution does, because unfortunately I'm twice over the age that it says you have to be to run. But also, I have worked on many different levels. I worked for 7 4-star generals in the military, 3 of which were the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Now that's your top general in the military, and I was stationed at the Pentagon. During that time, not only did I work for the chairman, but I got to sit in on strategy meetings. I actually worked with the White House in a number of different projects with them. And you get to learn so much just being a fly on the wall, but I was more than that. I was actively involved in the strategy and in the talks and the sessions and just making sure things happen. So I've already been involved at very high levels. And so having that experience, I think is amazing. Having the experience of already working with billions of taxpayer dollars. But you know what? Here's why I'm running. I'm running because, quite honestly, I believe Congress is broken. And I say that because when I was working with your tax dollars, and see, that's the difference. I know that the money I had, the $4 billion on my last job, was not my money. I knew it was your money. And I knew I was accountable to you, the taxpayer, the citizens of America. And so I made sure that none of it was wasted. Not $1 was misappropriated while in my budget, what we spent. Every bit of it went to the defense of this country. And see, I don't think Congress has that same mentality. Congress thinks it's their money, and they can just spend it wherever they want, and if they want more, then they'll just raise the national debt. And that's what my opponent has done 7 times. Instead of tightening his own belt, instead of cutting the fat from things that they can actually cut it from, they're now looking at programs that the American people have become to rely on. I mean, before we cut programs that the American people need, we need to look at Congress cutting their own programs and their own fat. So I think that the focus in Congress has been all wrong. And I believe that in the representational government, the Constitution says representational government. I have supported and defended that Constitution for 24 years, my entire adult life. And I still believe in representational government. And I still believe that our Constitution is worth fighting for. So when I'm asked, why are you running? Because I've never run for an office, but political office before in my life. It's because I care. I care about our Constitution. I care about the people of District 6. And I care about our country. And when I looked and I researched our current representative, who actually has been there for 20 years, and he ran on term limits 20 years ago. I don't know what his limit is, but it's way past mine. I looked at the map of Alabama, and I looked at District 6, and I realized that, you know what? Major industry and manufacturing have come into the state of Alabama. North, south, east, and west of District 6, but not in District 6. Now, if you and I don't do our jobs for 20 years, we'd probably get fired, right? Well, his job is to help the people of District 6 to represent the people of District 6. Look at what we have to offer. We have some of the most amazing schools in this state. We have the largest population. We have the biggest airport. We have some of the greatest resources. We have so much to offer. So for me, it's shameful that our representative hasn't done anything for the people of District 6 in getting us jobs and the things we need to get our people back up on their feet and get them running. So why am I running? Because I care. And because I'm willing to do the work that is supposed to be done by the Constitution, representing the people, not taking care of yourself, because we know how well he's taking care of himself. But his job is to take care of us. He hasn't done it. I'm passionate about changing that and making sure that you have a representative that cares about